and welcome to part 41 of my report on the McCarrick Report by Patrick Parson. Continuing with Chapter 12, Candidacy for the Archbishopric of New York, mid-1999 to early 2000, we see Cardinal O'Connor, at the request of Nuncio Montalvo, has just submitted a letter with 6 points of concern regarding his acknowledged friend, Archbishop McCarrick. O'Connor additionally adds 4 anonymous letters of allegations against McCarrick, which he had received. Although O'Connor feels McCarrick is an archbishop of extraordinary talent, he feels promoting McCarrick could cause grave scandal and adverse publicity if the rumors about McCarrick surfaced. Because of that, O'Connor recommends against elevating McCarrick. Nuncio Montalvo sent O'Connor's letter to Cardinal Moria Neves, prefect of the Congregation for Bishops, and a copy to Archbishop Giovanni Battista Re, substitute for General Affairs in the Secretariat of State. The nuncio agrees that some of the charges against McCarrick are known by clergy, and that it would be more prudent to either keep him where he is in Newark or to transfer him outside the United States, suggesting a resignation by McCarrick could cause serious scandal. Montalvo says it would be best to quieta non movere, which is Latin for don't move settled things, very similar to don't rock the boat. And I find it interesting, of course, that the concern here is not to move a bishop who has been guilty of grave immoral activities, but rather that moving him might cause scandal. Then Substitute Ray, at the request of Pope John Paul II, asked for Archbishop Cacciavillan, who had previously been nuncio in the United States for 8 years, to give his view on the matter. Cacciavillan wrote a memo dated November 19, 1999, entitled Observations of the Letter of Cardinal O'Connor to the Apostolic Nuncio in the USA regarding Archbishop McCarrick. Cacciavillan essentially shrugs off the points made by Cardinal O'Connor, discounting the first 2 points as rumors and accusations. Point 3, McCarrick's special attention to the young priest too, who later left the priesthood, was nothing in itself. Allegations made against McCarrick by priest 1 in point 4 were swept away since the psychiatrically disturbed priest was not reliable. Point 5 in O'Connor's letter, which related to McCarrick's interference in the Preppy murder case, was said to concern something completely different. I do not see how being different means a reason or evidence that is unusable. There is a style of logic used here which totally escapes me. And O'Connor's point 6 was no longer a reason because, quote, nothing similar has happened in recent times, unquote. And the letters with allegations in 1992 and 1993 concerned accusations in the first part of O'Connor's letter, so again are irrelevant. Again, it is hard for me to understand how that would make the allegations unimportant. It sounds to me like Cacciavillan is one of McCarrick's strong supporters, but that is not mentioned. Despite Cacciavillan's favoritism for McCarrick, he suggests it might be better for McCarrick to be nominated for Washington rather than New York. Additionally, he is not in favor of speaking to the potential sources of additional information mentioned in O'Connor's letter, saying, quote, "Nothing new would be learned, and worse, a trial situation could be created against Monsignor McCarrick, leaving the impression of great concern, which would have the effect of receiving answers in harmony with the expressed concern, rather than a de-dramatization, whereas a de-dramatization might perhaps be justified." I'm still trying to understand what that actually means, and obviously nothing new is going to be learned if no one is going to try to find out anything new. Also, in my own uneducated mind, I see nothing wrong with an impression of deep concern when the topic should be of deep concern. But that's just my own ignorance seeping out, since I'm not part of the hierarchy. In November and December, the nuncio kept receiving more letters from clergy endorsing McCarrick. But on February 8, 2000, Cardinal Neves sent a letter to Nuncio Montalvo saying, and I quote, "In light of the information already present in the archives of this congregation, and of that which is now furnished by the Apostolic Nunciature, and aware that Archbishop McCarrick is already in his 70th year, this dicastery cannot help but be in agreement, in linea de massima," which is Latin for "in principle," with the assessment of the Apostolic Nunciature, and therefore would consider it opportune that he not be transferred to another see. And that is the conclusion of Chapter 12, Don't Rock the Boat. Let's conclude our segment as we usually do, by praying the Fatima prayer. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy.